So on Sunday, the Proteas women played in the World Cup final for the very first time in their history. They played against defending champions Australia, and there was heartbreak at the end of that game for all South Africans, as just mere 19 runs stood between South Africa and World Cup glory. So we still haven't won the World Cup. Australia has won their sixth. But the good news is that the Proteas have surely won the hearts of a lot of fans around the world. I'm joined at the moment by their captain, Sune Luus, who is in Cape Town, and the team had a lot to do yesterday. I saw pictures at the City Hall there. Sune, thank you so much for your time this morning. I don't think you've had time to breathe as yet, but have you had time to at least reflect just a moment, not only on the final, but the tournament overall?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It obviously was a very successful tournament for us. I think, the goal coming into this tournament was to reach the final. I think we always fell short at the semi-final, so it was definitely to reach the final. And, I'm very proud of the girls of how we carried ourselves during the World Cup, and very happy with the result we had.
And Sune, obviously the question that a lot of us wanted to know during that match, let me go specifically into the match on Sunday against Australia, and I'd like us to play actually the overlay of the run out when Sune Luus was run out against Australia. If we can have that on screen, please. So Sune, you are at the crease, you hit the ball off to mid-off, and the run rate is going up. The required run rate is going up with every ball played. What happens there between you and Laura Wolfhard? I know that you called her and somewhere you said, no, go back, but she was already on her bike. What went through your mind at this moment?
Oh, gosh. Not much, clearly, but no, I think I hit the ball so nicely. I thought it should obviously be a run. And then halfway through, I saw it shouldn't be a run. And then I think there was confusion because I was trying not to, run Laura out, and obviously try to sacrifice myself instead. So I think that also created a whole new mix-up. But it was definitely my fault. Just a very bad lack of judgment, I think, in a high-pressured situation.
At that moment, as South African cricket fans, we're obviously going to have flashes of the 99 Cricket World Cup for the men, when Alan Donald had a mix-up with Lance Klusener at the crease, and there was a run-out there. Did you think at that moment, oh no, not again, not South Africa run out in an important match yet again at a World Cup?
Definitely not. I think I was only 3 at that stage. So I wasn't really a part of that World Cup or the sadness or anything. So that definitely didn't cross my mind. Yeah.
Well, Sune, I know you lost. We all know that you lost that match. But definitely what you did is win the hearts of all South Africans, all of the fans of cricket around the world. Have you had that outpouring of love shown to you, shown to the rest of the team?
Yes, 100%. I think, we obviously had 2 goals coming to the World Cup. The first one was obviously to win the World Cup, and the second one was to, try and inspire a nation and trying to, just uplift women's sport in South Africa. And I think, that's definitely something we've achieved. The love and support we've been receiving has been very overwhelming. It's been amazing to see and just awesome to, to hear the feedback from everyone and how much they've enjoyed this tournament and how much they've enjoyed, actually coming to watch a women's cricket match. Something I've never seen, a packed Newlands. I think that was something very special and hopefully something we can achieve again in the near future.
And not a lot of people would have given you a chance, Sune, given the team a chance before this tournament. I mean, there's the likes of Australia, there's England there. And then you lost the first match of the tournament against Sri Lanka. And obviously at that point, optimism would have also been leaking away from the team. And getting to the final must have been something else already, even before you went to play that match.
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously I think we didn't understand the pressures that came with an opening match of the World Cup. I think we didn't really, comprehend the amount of pressure we would feel in the packed stadium and what all of that would have done to us. But, I think after that match, we just sat together and said, there can be one or two ways we can go about the rest of the World Cup. And luckily we chose the correct one. So, going into the final, it was such an amazing feeling. And, definitely one of the best days of our lives.
And it must have been sweet beating England in that semi-final. I mean, for the fans, I know it was. For some of us, they beat you at home in England last year in that series, and also in the warm-up match. Just, I think, the second of the warm-up matches the week of the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. I think that warm-up match was a strange one. We played at Marty's Oval and it was quite small, and they scored at 240 odd. And I think we only lost by 19 runs or so. And I think at that stage we realized, that yes, they are a very good side and they play a very attacking brand of cricket, but we were just 19 runs short, chasing a score of 240. And I think that was in the back of our heads leading up to that semi-final, just knowing that yes, they are very, very good, and in terms of structures and platforms and everything, they're miles ahead of us as a country. But we were just 19 runs short, and we knew if we set a good enough target and put their batters under pressure, we were always in for a chance. So I'm very, very happy with how the team went about that. And I think England is one of our worst counterparts. We always get them in the semi-final and we don't cross that line. But I'm very proud of the team, of how we went about that semi-final and, how well we beat England. I think, obviously after the first 5 overs being 54 for 1, I think many heads would have dropped. But I think the team kept their calm, kept their cool, and just stuck to the basics and did the job.
Sune, just quickly, you were quoted in the papers as saying we desperately need a T20 Women's League here in South Africa. And also, what needs to happen now? Because women's sport in South Africa is on the rise. Netball, football, cricket now. We saw with Banyana Banyana last year as well. What needs to happen for women to have equal benefits as men in sport here in South Africa?
Yeah, I think, we can look at equal pay and all those big things. But I think when you start doing the small things right, people are coming up to me saying their daughters really want to play cricket, but there's no cricket team at school level. Something small like that can change. I think there's such a demand for cricket at the moment, and there's been a demand for cricket, from a girl's point of view for the last couple of years. And there's just no platform for them to express themselves and to, start living their dreams. I think, school cricket, they need to add girls teams.
Yeah.
And I think there's no reason why they couldn't. I think the demand is so high that they'll be able to fill not only 1, not only 2, but 3 or 4 teams. And really, I think they can really get a league going and let the girls play competitive cricket at school level as well. And I think that's just something basic we can start doing to create that depth that we keep talking about, that the 3 big teams in India, England and Australia have. So I think that's a really good starting point for women's cricket.
Sune Luus, captain of the Proteas Women, we are absolutely proud of what the team achieved. They didn't win the World Cup this past weekend, but they definitely won all our hearts here in South Africa. Thank you so much for your time and well done in the T20 Women's World Cup. That's captain of the national team, the Proteas Women, or the Momentum Proteas if you want to call them that.